We'll read off the answers first, and we'll go back through and answer any questions you have. Question number 1 is C, 1/4. Okay. Number 2 is D, 5/13. 3 is F, y equals 2x plus 1. Okay. Number 4 is C, 3/2. 5 is H, -4/3. 6 is J, y equals 1/2 x plus 200. Okay. Good? Okay. 7 is B, 14. 8 is J, 2x minus 4y equals 24. Okay, notice that that's in standard form. Let's see, that was 9 and 10. 10 is B, y equals 2/3 x plus 6.
Wait, can you do 9 again?
9 is J, 2x minus 4y equals 24. Did I skip 8? Okay, I'm sorry. 8 is F, y equals -2/3 x plus 4. Sorry about that. All right. 11. 11 is D, 20. 12 is E, y equals 2x minus 4. Okay. Minus 4. Okay. 13. 13, I'm sure, is going to be one that's going to have some questions involved. 13 is F, M, N. Okay. All right. 14 is A, 3. 15 is H, 3/5. 16 is A, 4. 17 is K, coordinates 3, 4. 18 is G, 0. 19 is A, y equals 3x minus 1. 20 is G, y equals 2x plus 2x plus 2. Okay. And let's see. 21. 21 is usually one that gets some questions. It is B, y equals x plus 2 radical 2. Okay. 22 is G, -2. 23 is A, -9/5. 24 is K, 4. 25 is A. Okay, and there's just a graph there, so I can't really read that. It's just A. 26 is C, -1. And 27 is E, coordinates -3, -6. All right, let's go back to page 1. See what questions I can answer. I'll answer as many of them as I can before we're out of here. Let's see, 1, 2, or 3? 3. Okay, 3. Lines P and Q intersect at 1, 3 in the standard xy coordinate plane. Lines P and R intersect at 2, 5. Which of the following is an equation for line P? All right. Let's see. This is what I ended up doing. Let's see. I found slope from between those 2 points, between 1, 3 and 2, 5. Okay. So we're going to take 3 minus 5. So your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It should be 1 minus 2. Okay, so you should get negative 2 over negative 1, which is just going to give you a slope of 2. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see. Line P and Q intersect at 1, 3. Lines P and R intersect at 2, 5. So what I would do from here, and it's different than what I've got on this, is that I would use that point slope formula. So the
That's what I did. I think I used the wrong.
Well, it shouldn't matter because P intersects in both lines, right? So the only thing that you might have done is you might have put the wrong number. Let's say that I'm using 1, 3, and I want to do y minus 3 equals 2 times x minus 1.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I see where I messed up. I didn't multiply 2 and 1. I just multiplied 2 and x.
Okay. So we got y minus 3 equals 2x minus 2, right? And then I'm going to add 3. Okay, y equals 2x plus 1. Okay. All right. Let's flip over to this page. We have 4 through 6. Yeah, Ryan? 6. Which of the following is an equation of a line that is graphed in the standard xy coordinate plane below? All right, so the first thing I'm going to notice whenever I'm looking at a line is I want to look and see where the y-intercept is. Okay, notice that the y-intercept there between 100 and 300 has to be 200. So I know I can get rid of f, right? Okay, and in fact, h is already, and that's probably should be a plus. It's just a typo. Okay. All right, from there, I need my slope. So if this is at 0, 200, or sorry, opposite. No, yeah, that's right. Fine. Okay, we're looking for the slope from the 0, 200 to 300, 350. Okay, so slope is rise over run. So that's going to be my y's over my x's. So let's do, 200 minus 350 over 0 minus 350, or sorry, 0 minus 300. All right, so 200 minus 350 should be negative 150. So I want to simplify negative 150 over negative 30. We know it's positive because we got negative divided by negative. Should be what, 1/2? Okay, positive 1/2. So I got a slope of 1/2. Okay, and a y-intercept of 200. That makes sense? Okay. All right. 7 through 10, Haley. 7. Okay. In the xy coordinate plane, a line passes through the point 3, 8, has a slope of 2. What's the y coordinate of a point on the line having an x coordinate of 6? Okay. We know that it has a slope of 2, correct? Okay. So slope is found by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, correct? So if we know it's passing through 3, 8, I would do 8 minus y, because I have an unknown y, right? Over 3 minus 6. Okay, because I know that my x-coordinate is 6. So we know that this equals 2. Okay, so 3 minus 6 would just simplify that as negative 3, correct? All right, so let's go ahead and, so I can save myself the space. Okay, if I had an equation like that, I'm just looking at it as an equation now, and I want to solve for y, I'm going to get negative 3 to the other side. Well, because I'm dividing by negative 3, I'm going to do the opposite of that, which means I'm going to multiply by negative 3, correct? All right, so I'm going to multiply by negative 3 on both sides so that those negative 3's cancel out. Sorry, that's a negative 3. So I get 8 minus y equals negative 6. Okay, subtract 8 from the other side. I get negative y equals negative 14, which means y must equal positive 14. All right, because I'm going to divide by negative 1. I get y equals 14b. Does that help you out a little bit? Okay, just looking at our slope formula. Okay, anything else on that page? 8, 9, or 10? No? Okay, about 11 or 12? That's next page. Just, what would you say? 11. A line passes through 2, 4, 3, 8 in the xy coordinate plane. What is the value of y if 6y is also on the line? Okay, well, the first thing I would do is I would find the slope from 2, 4 and 3, 8. So again, y2 minus y1. Or you could do it as, so I'd do 8 minus 4 over 3 minus 2. Okay, that's going to give me 4 over 1, so that tells me that I have a slope of 4, correct? Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I can use 2, 4 and 6y. Okay, so same thing. What I'm going to do, let's see. Let's do 4 minus y over 2 minus 6, and we know that that has to have the same slope of 4. Okay? So, we can erase this and call that what? Negative 4? Okay, just like we did with Haley's question, so I'm multiplying by negative 4. All right, so I'm getting 4 minus y equals negative 16. I'm going to subtract 4. Y equals negative 20. Sorry, negative y equals negative 20. Divide by negative 1. Y equals 20. And that's it. Okay, which is a lot easier than however it was that I did it originally in this. So, okay. Does that help you out? We understand that. Okay. All right, so nobody on 12 then, but we need 13 and 14 on the next page. Okay. All right, 13. 13 is the deal. As shown in the figure below, at the base of a ramp, okay, for water ski jumping is in feet long. The slope of the ramp, rise divided by run, is m. So they're telling me that this is equal to m, okay, rise over run, where m is greater than 0. Which of the following expression gives the height of the ramp in feet? Okay. So, yeah, x over n equals m, right? So here I'd have to multiply by n, so x equals m times n, okay? So it's a lot simpler than it looks, but it's tricky, okay? So that's how you get f for that. Okay, I mean, I'd be writing that, I don't know if you're filling in answers on ones that you got wrong, because it's one thing to see it, it's another thing whenever you actually go to write it down and actually fix your work. Okay, so yeah, I know you're going to turn it in, and I know you're probably going to throw it away once you get it back, but there is something to kinetic memory, which is whenever you apply hand, pencil and paper yourself, you're applying a different level of memory to it, okay, rather than just watching it and listening to it. All right, you said 14, right? Okay, 14 in the xy coordinate plane. At which x value does the line 2x plus y intersect the x-axis? Okay, there's actually a pretty simple trick for this. 2x plus y equals 6. So if I want to know where it intersects the x-axis at, well, we're going to intersect the x-axis where y equals 0, right? Okay? So if I substitute 0 in for y, what I'm saying is that 2x equals 6 because y is 0. So then I'm solving for x, divide by 2, x equals 3. Okay? So which x value does the line intersect the x-axis? It should be 3. Does that help you out? Okay. The only other way, I mean, if you couldn't remember to do that, is I would probably plug this in my graphing calculator, right? I would change that over to slope-intercept form, so I change that to y equals negative 2x plus 6, and then I would hit second table and look at where y is 0 at. Okay, or even graph it and look at it. All right, anything else on that page, 15 or 16? No? All right. 17, 18, or 19? 18? 18, okay. What is the slope, not the slop, what is the slope of any line parallel to the x-axis in the xy coordinate plane? All right, so let's say that this is my xy coordinate plane. This is my y-axis. This is my x-axis. Okay, so they're saying what is the slope of any line that's parallel to the x-axis? All right, so it would have to be a horizontal line, correct? Okay, a horizontal line has run but no rise. All right, so let's consider for a second what that looks like as a fraction. If it has run but no rise, what we're saying is that the rise is 0. All right, doesn't matter. The number here is technically infinity. Okay, but 0 divided by anything is what? 0. Okay, so a horizontal line will always have a 0 slope. Okay, a vertical line. Okay, anything parallel to the y-axis is undefined because it has rise. In fact, it has infinite rise, positive and negative, but it has no run. Well, the reason we call it undefined and not 0 is because we can't divide you can't divide by 0, right? That's why it comes across as undefined and not 0. Okay, because even 0 divided by 0 is undefined. Okay. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense now. I'm guessing, did you guys go with undefined as your answer? Yeah. Okay. It should be 0. All right. 19. Everybody on 19. Let's see. 20. 20. Okay, I guess that's the only one on here. So if a system of two linear equations in two variables has no solution, and one of the equations is graphed in the xy coordinate plane below, which of the following could be the equation for the other line? Okay, well, what you have to understand is, what is the situation whenever there's no solution? Two lines that have a solution mean that they cross somewhere, right? They intersect, all right? And when there's infinite solutions, that's whenever two lines are in fact the same line. So the only other alternative to where there would be no solutions is two parallel lines. Well, parallel lines have the same slope, but a different y-intercept. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking for something that has the same slope, but a different y-intercept. Now, notice that Let's see. So what we can't have is we can't have the same y-intercept. So we know that it's not 2x plus 3. And if I look at the other slopes, okay, notice this. That has a negative slope. Well, my line has a positive slope, so I know it can't be f, right? Okay. Notice that this has a negative slope, so I know it can't be that right there. Okay. I know that they're not telling you the slope, but I'm based upon the direction of the slope. So far, I've eliminated 2 options, and I know it can't be the same line, which means it can't be j, because if it was, it would intercept, right? It would have the same y-intercept, so at the very least it would cross, or it might possibly be the same line, okay? Y equals 2, what that is that is a vertical line right here, which means eventually it would cross, so it can't be that right there. The only one that works as a possibility is G, 2x plus 2, because it has a different y-intercept, it has a positive slope, so it potentially could be a parallel line. Okay, does that help you out? All right. All right, 21. 21, yeah. All right, in the figure below, line L has the equation y equals x, which means it has a slope of up 1 over 1, and it crosses at the x-axis. Okay, and k is parallel to L, which means it has the same slope, so it's going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Which of the following is an equation for k? Okay, so what I did is that we know, if I can get this right here, okay, we know that this is, hold on, I'm drawing lines all over the place. What I want to do is this, okay. Let's see, we want to carry this 2 that we see, we want to move it up, okay, and I'm going to move it up to here. We know that that length is 2, okay. We know that we are at a right angle here, and we know that this is a right angle here, and because this is a vertical line, what essentially that does is it creates a 45. Well, if that's a 45, then this is a 45, and what I have is a 45, 45 right triangle. Okay? Do you follow me there? Okay, which means this is 2, and because I've got, you know, a 45, 45 right triangle, I have those ratios, which means my hypotenuse side has a length of 2 radical 2. Is that correct? All right, which means from here to here is 2 radical 2, which means 2 radical 2 is the y-intercept of that second line. Okay? Well, the only one that has 2 radical 2 for y-intercept and has a slope of x is b. Okay? So that one you needed to move that line up, and you needed to know some things about what would happen with that angle. Okay? Okay, so that's a tough question. There's a lot to that. Number 22, 23, 22. In the standard xy coordinate plane, what is the slope of the line? 4x plus 2y equals 6. All you're doing here is you're converting from standard form to y-intercept form. Okay, so subtract 4x and then divide everything by 2. So you're going to get first 2y equals negative 4x plus 6. Then you're going to divide everything over here by 2, which you're not really concerned about the y-intercept, so you're really just taking negative 4 divided by 2, and you should get negative 2x, which is really just negative 2 as your slope. Okay? Okay, and of course that would be 3 if they were asking for the equation of the line. 23. Okay. All right, we're getting towards the end here. 24, 25, or 26? 26. Okay. For some real number A, the graph of the line y equals a plus 1x, where a plus 1 is the slope, in the standard xy coordinate plane passes through 2, 6. What is the slope of this line? Notice that the y-intercept is 8. Okay? If the y-intercept is 8, the location of the y-intercept is always going to be 0 and then whatever the y-intercept is, which is 8. So that's the coordinate of that, right? All right, so what we're saying is that if it passes through 2, 6 and 0, 8, all right, well now I'm back to that slope equation, right? Because I know that this is my slope. Okay, so again, I'm going to take those two coordinates and I'm going to find the slope and I'm going to set that equal to a plus 1. Or really, I mean, I just need the slope. So I don't even really need a plus 1 here. Right? So 8 minus 6 over 0 minus 2. 8 minus 6 is 2. 0, that's negative 2, which means I get a slope of negative 1. Okay, didn't even need that. Didn't help, didn't change anything. Negative 1 is the answer. Okay? Maybe there's a way to use a plus 1 in that, but that to me is way easier. Okay? And I think we've got, one question left? See who needs it. Anybody need 27? Okay, 27. When graphed in the standard xy coordinate plane, the lines x equals negative 3 and y equals x minus 3 intersect at what point? Okay. Let's see if I've got this right. So let's understand the graph here for a second. X equals negative 3. Okay, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then this line right here. Okay, if we have y equals x minus 3, what we're saying is that my y-intercept is at negative 3, and I have a slope of up 1 over 1, right? Which means if I have to intersect this line, I'm going to have to go back 1, down 1, right? All right, so we know that we're going to get points at here, right? Because that's going to be back 1, down 1. Okay, we're going to get a point here. Okay, we're going to get a point there. So we know that we're going to intersect. We would have had to have intersected at negative 3 for my x. It's just figuring out where we would be for our y. It's going to be, what, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. Okay, that right there. Okay? All right, so you guys can turn those in.